Hello everyone, this is Keyblader007 and we have a cool new quest event called the Organization 13 or XIII event. Number 11, Marluxia is here. This event basically is going to be the 13th of every month. We're going to have a new organization member, so this is going to take a whole year to get everyone done. This is currently going in Japan right now, but it's ridiculously hard in Japan. This one, they nerfed it for us, so this is the first time nerfing was a good thing. So, this is going to be from the 13th to the 20th of November. And pretty much reiterating what I said, you can get in Organization 13 Marluxia B medal and his hair. The hair does nothing, so I don't think it comes with any perks. But it's a pretty cool reverse metal speed type, 2 gauge tier 3, and inflicts more damage the more enemies defeated in a stage. So that's really unique. It's not really something you want to use for like a boss, but for like a stage with a shit ton of enemies, this is what will be really good. 13 event quests will be available during this period. By completing these quest objectives, you can earn prizes such as the limited time Marluxia B medal, Marluxia style avatar power, and more. The following objectives will appear. Complete without having to continue, equip the blank keyblade, and beware the target enemies in these quests have a chance of knocking you out in one hit during your turn. Be sure to defeat them quickly. Now, I've already 100%ed this entire quest, as I'll show you. Objective, objective, objective. And I already got all the Marluxia medals. I'm going to guilt it live on this video after I show you each mission. So, the Wandering Spook is the enemy on every one of these missions. This is a Heartless that comes with a special timer over his head. The timer, kind of like the Golden Tricholomas, is instead of just the different specials you use or the different medals, it's per hit. So you have to really time your stuff good with, like you don't want to use too many high hit things like SP Roxas or Terra and Illustrated Sora. And as you go down all the way to the bottom, level 200, the hit amount decreases by a lot. Now if you manage to not kill it in one turn, it doesn't hurt you a lot. But if you get its counter down to 0, it's going to do like 1,000,000 damage to you. I've never had it happen to me, but I've done it just to see what happens. So as I said, each quest is going to be complete without having to continue and equip X Keyblade. This first one is the number 1 quest. You get a Huey, Dewey, Louie, a silver, I think that's level 2 or 3 Huey, and you get 20 jewels per one of these whenever it shows you a jewel. So I'm just going to show it off. These are going to be my builds, the same keys with the same stuff. I haven't really changed anything. It doesn't matter what I grab because this is the first quest. They give you a little box right there. You don't have to kill all the enemies. So I'm just going to try to bypass as many as I can. I'm going to have to go through at least 2 or 3 of them to get to the spook. He usually surrounds himself with enemies like this. I've gotten my Nova Blast into 217 level, as you see in the corner. And I found out something cool about it too, which I'll show you in a minute. So first, instead of Nova Blasting, one hit went down to 49. Now the Nova Blast, it actually scales with your strength boost and whatnot, so if you tap it before the Ikari, it's weaker, but tap it after, and it clears the board. So yeah, that was ridiculously easy for the first one. So even if you're not strong enough to beat all these, you can definitely get a few Marluxia Bs. So on the 1% chance Square Enix releases brooms to us, we'll actually have the ability to guilt if you don't get all of them done. So now we're going to Wandering Spook. This one's a magic, so we're going to use speed. You can get a mirror, 20 jewels, equip the Lady Luck for that, so that's easy enough. And you get another level 2 or 3 Louie, it's Louie, the green one. So this is going to be my speed build. I've used this same one, doesn't matter what I grab for these low levels. Accidentally ran into an enemy, but I don't even need to use specials. Again, he's going to surround himself with enemies, but he's right over here, so I don't even need to bother with any of these guys, because it doesn't say to. I'm going to use that on him, and you're going to see each one will do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you see he went down to 40, but then we Nova Blast, bam, dead. Because I had a scale up of 1 strength and 2 speed. So they give you kind of shitty rewards in the first couple missions. But now on number 3, you get your first chance of getting a Marluxia B medal. And with the same reward, you get this time a Dewey, level 3 or level 2 or 3, the silver is. And now we have to equip the Treasure Trove. So this was my build. Take the fat cat. Just gonna ignore, you see the flower-based enemies, because, you know, they're themed with Marluxia, who's the flower guy. I think it was like the Graceful Assassin was his name. I'm just gonna go straight down the line. And you see, this is a risky medal against later ones, because look at that. Go straight down to 33, but Nova, dead. Pretty easy. These scale with difficulty as you start seeing. A lot of people are stuck on like quest 9, 10, or 11. I'm one of the few people in my group that even beat all 13. Seamlessly, I might add. Thank God they nerfed these quests, because the last enemies were supposed to be level 250 in Japan, and tier 5 medals couldn't even beat it. Now we gotta equip the Starlight, so this one threw me off a little bit, but it's still not that hard. Now, the Starlight's not my favorite Keyblade to always use, but thank God I did level it up to 17. So if I was taking this seriously, I would want to go with something like David's Jack, because it's only 1 hit instead of multi-hits. Unfortunately, there's a bunch of enemies in the way on this level, so you're going to have to get through them. You could try running around some of them, but it's not easy. So I might as well just clear a path. As you know, the Wandering Spook is kind of similar to that other spook. I think he had a different name. I think he was Swaying Spook, the one that was level 500 and you can get a magic gem. It was like, yeah, anyone that's actually strong enough to get that, God bless. And see what this does. Tap, kill, dead. Nice. First 4 quests, easy peasy lemon cheesy. Now we have quest 5. Wandering Spook is now up to level 60. So you saw it scaled from 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Again, it's magic, so they want us to equip the Lady Luck, and this gives us another Marluxia B medal. So these are the ones you want to make sure you definitely can beat. Didn't want to grab that, but whatever. I'm strong enough to kill without the friend medal. This one is interesting because it literally has no one guarding him. He just kind of pops people out of his ass. Like that. The surrounding enemies are easy. Now a Nova Blast. Dead. But as you see, like, his counter is getting slowly less amount in the numbers until it goes, I think, down to 20. Now we're back to Treasure Trove. Crappy rewards again. Mirror. I don't know why they're giving such crappy rewards, like the Louis star level, like 2 or 3, the silver one. That's that's a shitty reward in my book. It should have been like at least the airplane one for such a unique quest. And equip the treasure trove. So we're gonna go back to our treasure trove. Let's grab anything with red. See, they're all flower enemies, but I'm just gonna skip right past them and go straight to our spook. And Nova. And Kyrie finishes them off. Nice. And we're back to full gauge. Excellent. It's weird that they started with Marluxia out of all the organization members. Why not just start with 1? Why start with 11? I don't even get that. Now we have quest 7 with... They upped the shitty reward to a slightly less shitty reward. I think that's a level 5 evolution Huey. And 20 jewels and mirror. Mirrors are always good. Level 80 spook, so again it's scaled up by 10. After this it gets significantly harder, and it wants us to have the 3 wishes. So let's just grab anything. That top area right here looks like a glitch, but it's really not. Again, he's by himself. Oh no, never mind, this is not one of those. He literally surrounded himself with red roses. But I can kill every one of them if I wanted to. But I don't need to, I'm just going to go right to our spook. So he has 32 over his head now. So I'm going to go Kyrie. That's 1. Nova. 2. And just tap tap. See, something like Roxas, even though it's on my build, I wouldn't really want to use it with its special to do like X amount of hits, because that's just going to slowly break your counter down to 0. Which is something you don't want to do. And of course I have my costume with my duckbill, because that will give me a big skill boost. Now we're on to quest 8. Another organization medal for him, and now a level 5 Louis and 20 jewels for Lady Luck. And you see the scale just went up by 20, so it was going up by 10, and then it goes all the way up from 80 to 100. So you know it's going to start jumping now because we're running out of numbers. So let's go with Lady Luck. Ironically, one of my friends already got this in our party, completely maxed out. That's what it looks like. We're going to guilt it later and see if we get lucky, like that 100%. And let's use this guy against his own people. Because I have regular Marluxia in this build, so it's kind of funny. So he got both Marluxias. This one is literally a clusterfuck of these puff dudes. But they're easy to beat, they're really weak. They're actually called pink Possessors, so they're very floral, definitely like cherry blossom, like Japanese style. You can see the culture from the umbrella alone. It's kind of weird, Heartless holding an umbrella. Just tap kill them all. Just get rid of them all. And there's our spook, with 2 more Possessors. Boom. And Marluxia finished. See, we didn't even get to Mickey. And he still had like a high amount of hits. So that's quest 8. We're about halfway through it. The next quest, I believe, has the hair. Yeah. So, quest 9 has the Marluxia B hair for the girl and boy, and 20 jewels for the treasure trove. And again, the level went up by 20 this time. So it doubled. And now it wants us to use treasure trove. Let's grab my new favorite cat, Majesty, that I talked about in my last video. How I got him, I guilted him, got 100%, and he wrecks all. Again, we're in Hades world, and he just spawns a whole bunch of people when he's by himself. So that one we have to use a little bit more effort. I probably should have Eye-Kyried before Nova Blasting. Grab that chest. Get back to full gauge almost. But it's still pretty easy to do. Now we're up to quest 10 where a lot of people get stuck. So this quest, he's level 140. You get our Marluxia B medal. They finally upgraded us to getting a plane, so we get a Dewey plane, which is a 6-star, and 20 shitty jewels. It should have been like 50 per. 20 is such a crappy number, but whatever. I'm just glad they nerfed the quest. So it's red, so they want us to equip the 3 wishes, so they already tell you what tool you need for the job. You don't even have to think about it. If you have a good group, take any kind of jack medal. Everyone and their mother are sharing those now. So I'm just going to take David's. Shout out to David. I'm just going to skip through all these guys and go straight. Okay, we can't skip him. He's on the bridge. So now he has 23 hits to kill. And he has one of those yellow life bars. So, if attack boost 3 activates, he should be dead, yeah. Killed him in 2 medals. So, not really that hard if you have a good build. If you don't have Eye-Kyried, you could just pull it off by getting attack boost 3 with or 2 with some good medals that do boosts like Jizz and whatnot. If you have Pooglet, that will work too. And raid boss appeared, we're going to ignore it. Luckily this time we're not in story mode, so I can ignore it. Let's go straight back to where we were, and we have 3 more missions before this is over. Now, all the missions following this point on will all have Marluxia B medals, because they want to give you 7, which is what you need to guild. Wandering Spook is now blue, and they give you a 6-star Louis medal, and they want us to use the Starlight again, which again is not my favorite key to use in stuff like this because it's not my strongest blade, but it's whatever. I'm gonna use, let's see, there's a good one for this. I guess I'll use Max with his thing. Yeah, that looks good. Just double checking, because we got some new members. We got Crow and we got Cryptic, 2 people I know very well. Cryptic is actually my nephew. Shout out to Cryptic. No, maybe I'll use Cryptic's medal for this. So yeah, he's all by himself here. You only get 20 hits this time, so it's a little maddening. Blow it up. If I remember correctly, this got me Halloween Sora for the win. So once again, I didn't need the friend medal, but I still wanted to take the flowery just to give Cryptic a shout out. He just joined with our party a couple of days ago, and he's already ranked up from starting the game, 200 levels, in like 2-3 days. It's amazing. So dedication is what I like. So if anyone ever wants to join my party, you dedicate yourself, you're active, you're on Discord, that's what we look for. And Lux boost at 5 p.m. Now we're going after Wandering Spook level 180. Again, we have Marluxia B as one of our rewards. We have our red Huey plane, level 6, and 20 jewels. So we're going with the Treasure Trove. And we will take someone was sharing a better one, but I'll just take this one for now. The Majesty. It has attack boost 3, so yeah, that's really good. Majesty is not to be underestimated if you have one target. Take this box, and he's all by himself, but he only has 17 hits, so you gotta be careful. And there's 2 of them this time. This mission's a little nuts. They have the same amount of health, so I gotta be careful. I think this should finish them off. Okay, yeah, he just clinched it. Just made it. By like that much. So that one you gotta be careful. That's my illustrated sword. If it was gilded, it would have done the job. But because it's not, it brought the counter down really far. We literally were at like 2 and 1 with those. And now the final one. The 3 Wishes, level 200 Spook. So we're gonna take David's, and oh yeah, we get our last Marluxia. We'll take David's because we want less hits than more hits. Luckily there's a box right here, and where is our asshole? There's our spook. 13 hits. 13 hits, and he goes boom. So I'm going to hit Kyrie at one of the other people. Going to Nova. And it brings him down to 5 bars. Now Donald will hit him for 3. That's what I said about using Roxas only once. If I remember correctly, I did this with Mickey, and then Hades finished him off. Yeah. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Once again, perfect try on the first try. Thought it was going to be much harder, especially from the Japanese version that they got of this event. And now we're going to try to guilt Marluxia B and see if we get a good roll. So I already have them all set up. See right here, you want to have 1 5-star, because they're all 5 stars, with 2. And 1 5-star with 3. So you combine them until the bubbles match that. You're going to evolve both of them into level 3. Level 6. I'm going to unlock this one so I can use it as material. Now we're going to sort. Make it easier. There's our new guy right here. The locked one is the one we're going to start with. Going to level up. Go based on attack. And thanks to the recent update, anytime you're leveling up a metal and combining them, they show up at the top now, which is amazing. I drag it there, you see it's glowing. All the bubbles are lit, and we have our tier 3 guilt about to activate. So I hit level up. And we pray that we're going to get a good guild, because there's no rerolls on this, and there's no brooms. So if I get shit guild, this metal's never going to be used. 100% on the first try. That is amazing. That brought my Nova up by 1, and then again by 5. So that was pretty sweet. I've never gotten that lucky. I think the RNG gods of this game that hate me have finally started liking me a little bit. So let's go to XP and just max his ass out, because I'm definitely going to be using this medal. So that's pretty legit. Oh yeah, it was a 3-star. Since we got so many of them from that event, might as well use them, right? So yeah, that is our Marluxia B. It inflicts more damage the more enemies defeated in that stage. We got 100% guilt. You saw it live right here. Never happens. It's like, this is the second time. I got it also with Riku Replica. And it is an AoE, does Merciless Thorns plus 5, damages 2.45 to 2.89, I guess depending on how many enemies you kill. So I have to chip this thing when I get some chips and sit it, and it's going to probably be in future videos. Thanks for watching. We'll update whatever comes out next, whatever events or story. See you guys.